Okay, so I've got my daughter filming this video. So this video is regarding the video that I was told to look at and give my 2 cents worth. It was a video done by Perry Tate about how to use the squeegee the fastest way. Some of the things that he talked about made sense, but the problem with a lot of window cleaners when they talk about this technique or this squeegee or this method, it always results in working longer, harder, slower and getting less results. So I'm not going to talk about working fast. I'm going to talk about working effective and efficient, because when you're working effective and efficiently, you're going to always be faster or be quicker than working anybody fast, because when you're working fast, you're making mistakes. So what do we need? We need soap. Dish soap. I use dish soap. You can use any soap you want, but dish soap is very easy to get hold of, very cheap. And I'm going to use a saturated washer. So that means some of you guys who don't use a saturated washer need to pay particular attention. Window cleanse, for example, you need to have a saturated washer, especially when it's warm and it's windy and it's hot and sunny. More reason to use a saturated washer. So we're not working on the same type of window that Perry Tate worked on. We're going to work on this window here, and it's a different size, it's a different shape, and but the information I'm going to give will make much more sense than what he said, which is why I suppose people asked me to take a look at this video and tell me what I thought. So what Perry was talking about is working the fastest way by using a particular size squeegee and travelling the least amount on the glass. And some of that stuff I talk about, but there's many things that he wasn't doing, which I'm going to do, and which I've talked about many times, but we're going to do it all in one window cleaning video. So first of all, he didn't have a firm foundation to work on, and quite often in his videos he wasn't working with two hands, he was working with one hand. So I've got a much firmer foundation to work on. Let's just wet this rubber up, and I'm now going to work quicker than Perry Tate, because I'm going to make a slightly different manoeuvre. I will do his manoeuvre what he did as well, because it's a manoeuvre that I often do with these types of windows, this sort of shaped window. But what I just did there, I worked quicker and better than Perry Tate and all the window cleaners on YouTube. Why? Because I got 100% results. How did I get 100% results? Because I'm using a better performing squeegee. This is the best performing squeegee that you can get. Can't get anything better than this. Now I need to become a better performing window cleaner, so I need a better performing soap solution. It needs to be wet, it needs to be soapy, and I need to get the squeegee to do the amount of squeegeeing on the glass, best results by putting it in the right place at the right time. So, and I use two hands. So, Perry Tate did a manoeuvre like this. Not the same window, shaped window, but I've talked about this technique. And the good thing about doing that technique is I'm still manoeuvring the least amount, but I'm using both my ends of the rubber more evenly. So if I was just going around in circles all the time with this size squeegee, I'm only going to use one side of the rubber against the frame, and it's always going to wear out much quicker than the other side. So working like that, you do get better longevity in the rubber. But we're talking the fastest possible route, or the quickest route. The quickest route is going around in a circle. Right, so things that Perry Tate didn't talk about was the soap solution. He didn't talk about the positioning very well. He just talked about the shortest route, and the route that he took wasn't the shortest route. And he talked about one size squeegee fits all. Now, his window that he was demonstrating on looked like a very straightforward, easy window to work on. But what if the window is not easy to work on, and I'm stuck using a big squeegee. And obviously the bigger the squeegee, the less chance I've got to manoeuvre around the pane. And if it's buffing up against the frame, it's the longer the squeegee, the worse results that I'm going to get. And the reason why I'm quicker than all these other guys on YouTube by working more precisely, more accurately, is because I don't make any mistakes. And if I am going to make a mistake, I will rectify my mistake with my tool and technique. So I really never stop what I'm doing. I make sure the window is 100% done with my tool and technique, which is what Perry Tate never talks about. He was only getting less results, travelling less with the squeegee. So my information is much more in depth, and I'm using two hands, as I said, and I've got a better soap solution, and I've got a better performing squeegee. So really, I'm a much quicker window cleaner than these guys that talk about be the best, let's say, squeegee, best soap formula, best technique. All they are best at doing is talking and working longer, harder, slower, and getting less results. So this window now is a different window. Let's say these frames are much harder to work on, so I don't want to be stuck with that big squeegee, but I still want to get the highest quality results in the least amount of time. So that means I need to change a few things, because my bigger squeegee isn't going to be able to perform against these frames. So this is something that Perry Tate didn't talk about, because Perry Tate and all these other window cleaners have a one-track mind. It's just that subject that they're talking about, and they try to sound as plausible as possible, and it's got all holes in it. Everything people talk about on YouTube regarding window cleaning, this is why window cleaning industry is really bad. Really poor information, especially when it comes to these just bog standard hand tools. Window cleaners are really bad at their job, and it's demonstrated all over YouTube. So there's some noises over there. Oh, it's a pigeon. Right, so let's soap up this window again. Hard, more difficult window to work on. Let's saturate my rubber, because it's a warm day and this is not going to perform if I don't have a saturated washer. So I'm now scaling back my squeegee, and I'm now going to make more manoeuvres. I'm making 3 manoeuvres. So I've travelled further, but because I've retained my results, I get to work quicker than I would do if I'm working with a longer squeegee with more coverage spread but harder to use. So I've now evolved and adapted to the scenario that I'm working on, which is what Perry Tate obviously didn't talk about, because he has no idea about how to work efficiently and effectively as a window cleaner, because he isn't a window cleaner. He may have done window cleaning a long time ago, but he was an expert, like everybody else on YouTube, is an expert at working longer, harder, slower, getting less results. And that's exactly what you guys shouldn't be doing. So what else have I got apart from this good soap solution, this saturated solution, better performing squeegee? What else do I have that Perry Tate and all these other guys don't have to make sure that I'm working as quick as possible? Well, I'm using 2 hands. Perry Tate often was demonstrating using just the one hand. So I'm wetting and washing with one hand and squeegeeing with the other. So on a really hot day, I can still squeegee underneath and get my positioning as best as possible and getting the highest quality results in the least amount of time. But what if this window was a dirty window and I've only got a washer and my 2 hands and the best performing squeegee? That's not enough when this window is dirty, because my washer is only washing, it's not scrubbing. And even if I had one of these porcupine type fugu washers, I'm going to get much better scrubbing power and much better positioning and pressure if I just focus on the places that really need focusing on, to scrub the window, soak up the window, and then we can now work very effectively and efficiently. Now, as you can see, I'm working very controlled. I'm not working like Perry Tate was working. I have much more skill, much more ability, better soap control, better soap solution to glide on, 100% results on the glass, and I got the work done a lot quicker. So being the fastest isn't the best scenario, because you're always going to make mistakes. What the best scenario is understanding from the get-go what you need to get the highest performance out of your tools. And of course, these are the best performing tools in window cleaning. Nothing else comes close. Even if you self-modified it, however you want to modify your tool, it's never going to come as close as perfection as these tools. Using two hands, a very wet soapy solution, nice glide, nice control, not working fast, but getting the job done in a much less time. They're the easiest tools to use. Anybody starting window cleaning, if you've got the right setup, the right information to begin with, these tools are the easiest tools to use. There's no need to use any standard tools. But if you want to use a standard tool for your window cleaning work, that's up to you. But you know, if you're first starting out window cleaning, you do not want something that's going to make you work longer, harder, slower to begin in. Now, before I go, I'm just going to wet this window up, and I'm going to get my daughter. She's not a window cleaner. Now I'll give her a chance. I'm going to give her this squeegee to work on. Let's just wet it up. Hopefully she can reach. Let's give her an opportunity to clean this window. Let's see what she can do. She can't clean windows because she's not an expert window cleaner. But let's see if she can use this squeegee. She kind of knows what she's doing. Right, so she's not a window cleaner, and she's using a tool that is the highest performing tool for window cleaning. And she's obviously seen her dad work many times. How difficult is using that tool, Maya? Now, you've got a few mistakes here, Maya. That's unacceptable, and so is that. But you just used a tool that most YouTube window cleaners just cannot use. What was so difficult with that? Anything difficult there?
Not really.
Nothing, no. All you need to do is get your positioning a little bit better, and you can use that tool with your eyes shut. So if you're blind window, if you're someone who's blind, look, I'm not up for discriminating against anybody. So if you're blind and you want to become a good performing window cleaner, I suggest use this tool, because this will help you get 100% results, and you don't even have to see what you're doing. So that is my information regarding the Peritape working fastest route. You know, it's, you know, I'm not all these guys out the water when it comes to information and how to use a squeegee the best possible way. And unfortunately, all these guys who are experts and talking on their YouTube channels, they're huge, they basically rule the industry of window cleaning. All they can advise you to do is work longer, harder, slower, and forever get less results.